The Great Hall of the Galaxy Council was huge. It could hold thousands of beings from different worlds. Today it was full of alien voices, all talking about one thing: humans. Admiral Kim Tae-ho sat in his command chair on the human ship Soul's Pride. He watched the council meeting on his screen. His old face showed no feelings, but inside he was angry, very angry. For 43 years, humans had been part of this council. At first the aliens had welcomed them. They said humans were smart and strong. They said humans would help make the galaxy better. That was a long time ago. Now the aliens treated humans like children. They told humans what to do. They told humans where they could live. They told humans how many ships they could build. On the screen, Speaker Gextel stood up. He was from the Vorthok people. The Vorthok thought they were the best race in the galaxy. Gextel was tall and green, with 4 arms and red eyes. When he spoke, his voice was loud and mean. The humans have gone too far, Gextel said. In 10 years, they have built homes on 12 new worlds. This is not right. Other races take hundreds of years to settle one world. Humans are too fast, too greedy. Ambassador Park So-min sat at the human table. She was Earth's top diplomat. She had been talking to aliens for 20 years. She knew how to stay calm when they said bad things about humans. But today was different. Today her hands were shaking. The humans think they own the galaxy, another alien said. This one was blue and had tentacles instead of arms. They take what they want. They do not ask permission. More aliens started talking. They all said the same things. Humans were bad. Humans were dangerous. Humans needed to be stopped. Admiral Kim watched from his ship. He was 52 years old. He had fought in 3 wars to help these aliens. He had saved alien worlds from pirates and monsters. He had lost good human soldiers protecting alien lives. This was how they thanked him. Captain Lee Dong-woo stood next to the admiral. He was young, only 30 years old, but very smart. He could read the admiral's face like a book. Sir Lee said quietly, "The fleet is ready. We can be at the council station in 6 hours. Not yet," Kim said. "Let them talk." Dr. Yoon Hae-jin was also watching. She was a scientist who studied alien cultures. She had spent years learning how different races thought and acted. She knew the aliens better than most humans. "They're scared," she said. Kim looked at her. "Scared of what?" "Of us," she said. "Humans do in 10 years what takes them 100. We explore faster. We build faster. We learn faster. They cannot keep up, so they want to slow us down." On the screen, Speaker Gextel raised all 4 of his arms. The hall became quiet. "The council has decided," he said. "Humans have 72 hours to agree to our terms. First, you must stop all expansion. No more new worlds. Second, you must give up half of your colonies. Other races need those worlds more than you do. Third, you must accept that humans are a junior species in this council. You will have no vote on important matters." The human table was silent. Ambassador Park's face was red with anger, but she said nothing. "If humans do not agree," Gextel continued, "the council will take action. We will block all trade with human worlds. We will not allow human ships in council space. We will treat Earth as an enemy of the galaxy." The aliens in the hall made happy sounds. They clapped and cheered. They thought they had one. On the Soul's Pride, Admiral Kim turned off the screen. He looked at his officers. Captain Lee was angry. Dr. Yoon looked sad. Other officers had their hands on their weapons. "Orders, sir," Lee asked. "Send a message to Earth," Kim said. "Tell President Choi we need to talk now." 3 hours later, Kim was in a secret meeting. The room was on Earth, deep underground. President Choi Min-ho was there. So was General Bae Sung-woo, the head of Earth's military. Ambassador Park had come back from the council station. Her face was still red with anger. "They want us to be slaves," Park said. "Not partners. Not equals, slaves." President Choi was 60 years old. He had been a soldier before he became a politician. He understood war better than most leaders. "How many ships do we have?" he asked General Bae. "More than they think," Bae said. "Much more. Our colonies. All of them are ready," Bae said. "But people are angry. They want to fight." Kim spoke up. "Mr. President, we have been preparing for this day for 5 years. Every time they insulted us, we got ready. Every time they treated us like children, we built more ships. Every time they said we were weak, we became stronger." Dr. Yoon pulled out a tablet. "I have studied every alien race in the council. I know their weaknesses. I know their fears. Most importantly, I know they have never fought a real war." President Choi looked surprised. "Never. The big races like the Vorthok became powerful by making deals, not fighting battles," Yoon explained. "They threaten smaller races, and the smaller races give up. They have never faced an enemy that fights back." "What about their weapons?" the president asked. General Bae smiled. It was not a nice smile. "Their weapons are old. Very old. They have not improved them in hundreds of years. They think they do not need to, because no one fights them. And our weapons, new, very new. We have been testing them in secret for years." President Choi was quiet for a long time. Everyone waited. Finally, he spoke. 43 years ago, we joined the council because we wanted peace. We wanted to be part of something bigger. We wanted to help make the galaxy a better place. He stood up and walked to a window. Outside, he could see the lights of the city. Millions of humans lived down there. They all trusted him to keep them safe. But they never wanted us as equals, he said. They wanted us as servants. They wanted us to do what they said when they said it. They wanted us to be grateful for whatever scraps they gave us. He turned around. His face was hard like stone. I am tired of being grateful. I am tired of saying thank you when they slap us. I am tired of pretending that being treated like dirt is some kind of honor. Admiral Kim nodded. What are your orders, sir? President Choi looked at each person in the room. These were Earth's best leaders. These were the people who would decide humanity's future. We are done negotiating, he said. For 43 years, we have tried to be good members of their club. We followed their rules. We accepted their insults. We smiled when they treated us like children. His voice got louder. But they made one mistake. They forgot that before we joined their council, humans survived in a dangerous galaxy all by ourselves. They forgot that we explored the dark between stars when their ancestors were still afraid to leave their home worlds. He looked directly at Admiral Kim. Send a message to all human ships. Bring them home. All of them, sir. Kim was confused. Every human ship, every human diplomat, every human trader. I want them all to come back to human space, right now. What about the council's deadline? Ambassador Park asked. President Choi smiled. It was the same kind of smile General Bay had used, cold and dangerous. Let them wait, he said. Let them wonder. Let them think about what happens when you push humans too far. He walked to the door, then stopped and looked back. They want to see what humanity looks like when we stop being polite. They are about to find out. The meeting was over. In 72 hours, the aliens would expect an answer from Earth. They would not get the answer they were expecting. 3 days passed. The council waited for humanity's answer. No answer came. Speaker Gextel stood in the Great Hall again. This time he looked worried. The human seats were empty. Ambassador Park Somin was gone. All the human diplomats had left the station. Where are they? Asked Councillor Vexra. She was from the Blue Tentacle people. The humans should have answered by now. Maybe they are scared, said another alien. Maybe they know they cannot win. Gextel tried to look confident, but his red eyes showed fear. Send a message to Earth. Tell them their time is up. They must answer now. The message was sent. No reply came back. On the trade station Omega-7, Captain Ro Minsik was loading his cargo ship. He had been trading with aliens for 15 years. His ship, the Busan Trader, carried goods between human and alien worlds. An alien portmaster came to him. This alien looked like a giant bug with 6 legs. Captain, the bug alien said, you have not paid your docking fees. Ro looked at him. I paid them yesterday. No, you must pay the new fees. The council has added extra taxes for human ships. Ro smiled, but it was not a friendly smile. I see. He walked back to his ship. His crew was waiting for him, sir, asked his first officer, Kim Dayoon. We are leaving, Ro said. Right now. What about the cargo? Leave it. Kim was confused. The cargo was worth millions of credits. Sir, we cannot just leave it, Ro said again. We are going home. The Busan Trader lifted off from the station. As it flew away, the alien portmaster watched through his window. He did not understand why the humans were acting so strange. All across the galaxy, the same thing was happening. Human traders were leaving alien stations. Human diplomats were going back to Earth. Human scientists were closing their research labs on alien worlds. At first, the aliens thought this was good news. Finally, said Gextel, the humans know their place. They are running away like scared children. But after 1 week, the aliens started to worry. The Zephyrian Empire needed human medicines. Their people were getting sick, and only human doctors knew how to cure the disease. But all the human doctors had gone home. The Vorthok needed human engineers. Their old machines were breaking down, and humans were the only ones who could fix them. But the human engineers had left. The Crystalline Federation needed human food. Their worlds could not grow enough crops to feed their people. Human farms had been sending them grain for 20 years. Now the shipments had stopped. This is just temporary, the aliens told themselves. The humans will come back. They need our trade too much. But the humans did not come back. Lieutenant Commander Shin Ji-woo sat in her office on Earth. She worked for human intelligence. Her job was to listen to alien communications and learn their secrets. Today, she was reading intercepted messages from the council. The aliens were getting scared. Ma'am, said her assistant, Park Jun-ho, the Vorthok are trying to contact our embassy again. How many times today? 47. Shin smiled. Do not answer. She looked at her screens. For 5 years she had been collecting information about every alien military base, every trade route, every weakness. The aliens thought humans were just peaceful traders and diplomats. They had no idea that every human in alien space was also a spy. Now she knew everything about the alien fleets. She knew where their ships were. She knew how many weapons they had. She knew which systems were protected and which were not. Most importantly, She knew the aliens had become weak. They had not fought a real war in hundreds of years. Their ships were old, their weapons were older. They spent more time talking than training. Her communicator beeped. Commander Shin, report to the Admiral. She walked to Admiral Kim's office. The old Admiral was looking at star maps. Captain Lee Dongwu was there too. Commander, Kim said, show me what you have learned. Shin pulled up her files on the main screen. Sir, the alien fleets are spread thin across the galaxy. They have big ships, but not many of them. Most of their vessels are cargo ships and patrol boats. What about their military bases? Weak. They rely on their reputation to keep enemies away. Most bases have only a few guards and old weapons. Captain Lee leaned forward. What about their home worlds? Heavily populated but poorly defended. They never expected anyone to attack them directly. Admiral Kim nodded slowly. Good work, Commander. Now I have a new job for you. Yes, sir. I want you to map every alien ship movement for the past month. I want to know exactly where they are going and why. Right away, sir. After Shin left, Lee looked at the Admiral. Sir, are we really going to do this? Kim stared at the star map. Red dots showed human colonies. Blue dots showed alien worlds. There were many more blue dots than red ones. Captain, how long have you been in the fleet? 8 years, sir. In those 8 years, how many times have aliens asked us for help? Lee thought about it. Many times, sir. The plague on Vexra Prime. The pirate attacks on the trade routes. The rescue mission at 17 times, Kim said. 17 times we risked human lives to save aliens. And how did they thank us? Lee was quiet. They called us junior partners. They said we were too aggressive. They said we needed to be controlled. Kim's voice was getting harder. Well, Captain, they are about to learn what aggressive really looks like. On the alien world of Nexus Prime, Trade Master Quellen was having problems. Quellen looked like a walking tree with many branches for arms. He had been buying human goods for 30 years. Now his warehouses were empty. No human ships had come to his world in 2 weeks. His customers were angry. They wanted to know where their orders were. Quellen tried calling the human trade office. No one answered. He tried sending messages to human ships. No replies came back. He decided to send his own ship to the nearest human world. The ship was called Profit Stream. It had a crew of 20 aliens. The ship traveled for 3 days to reach the human colony of New Sol. When it arrived, the crew was confused. The space around the planet looked empty. There were no ships, no space stations, no signs of life. Captain, said the navigator, are we in the right place? The captain checked his instruments. Yes, this is New Sol. But where is everyone? They sent a message to the colony. New Sol Control, this is trade ship Profit Stream. We request permission to land. No answer. They tried again. Still no answer. The captain decided to scan the planet. The scan showed cities, but no ships were flying around them. No communications were coming from the surface. It is like the humans just vanished, said the navigator. The captain was scared. He had heard stories of ghost worlds where everyone disappeared. He ordered his ship to leave immediately. Profit Stream flew back to Nexus Prime as fast as it could. Trade Master Quellen listened to the captain's report with growing fear. Empty, Quellen asked. The whole planet was empty. Not empty, sir. The cities were still there. But no ships, no communications, no signs of activity. Quellen felt cold inside. If the human colonies were abandoned, where had all the humans gone? The same reports were coming from all over the galaxy. Alien traders were finding human worlds that looked deserted. Human ships were nowhere to be seen. It was as if humanity had simply disappeared, but they had not disappeared. They had just stopped talking to aliens. In the council chambers, Speaker Gextel was angry and scared. 3 weeks had passed since the ultimatum. The humans had not answered. Now they seemed to be gone. This is not possible, he said to his advisors. 60 billion humans cannot just vanish. Maybe they all went back to Earth, suggested one advisor. All of them in 3 weeks. Impossible. Another advisor spoke up. Sir, we are receiving reports of ... problems. What kind of problems? Ships are going missing near human space. Not destroyed, just ... missing. Gextel felt a chill run through his body. How many ships? 12 so far. All different races. They enter human territory and never come out. The room was quiet. Everyone was thinking the same thing, but no one wanted to say it. Finally, Gextel spoke. Send a message to all council. Ships stay away from human space until further notice. He looked at the empty human seats in the chamber. For 43 years, those seats had been filled with human diplomats who smiled and nodded and did what they were told. Now the seats were empty, and Gextel was starting to understand that humanity's silence was more frightening than their words had ever been. 6 weeks had passed since humanity went silent. Now the aliens were learning why human ships had vanished. They had not been destroyed. They had been hiding. Colonel Park Jin-ho stood on the bridge of the stealth ship Shadow Walker. The ship was completely invisible, not just to alien sensors, but to the naked eye as well. Human scientists had spent 5 years perfecting this technology. Colonel, said his navigator, Lieutenant Yumajin, we are approaching the Vorthok station. Park looked at his screens. The massive alien station was right in front of them, but the aliens could not see his ship at all. Begin the operation, he ordered. The Shadow Walker moved closer to the station. Park's team had studied this place for months. They knew every corridor, every security system, every weakness. Team Alpha, you are clear to board, Park said into his communicator. On another invisible ship, Commander Onari was preparing her crew. Her ship was called Phantom Wind. It was smaller than Park's vessel, but faster and more deadly. Remember, she told her team, we do not kill anyone. We just take what we need and leave. What if they fight back? Asked Sergeant Ko Minsik. They cannot fight what they cannot see, Or replied. The human boarding teams moved like ghosts. They wore special suits that made them invisible to the aliens on the station. Had no idea humans were walking among them. In the station's main computer room, the aliens were having problems. Their systems were failing one by one. Life support was getting weaker. The artificial gravity kept turning on and off. What is happening? Asked Station Commander Veg. He was a Vorthok with green skin and 4 arms. We do not know, sir, said his chief engineer. All our systems are failing, but we cannot find the cause. Could it be sabotage? How no ships have come near the station? Our sensors show nothing. But the sensors were wrong. 3 human teams were inside the station, taking everything valuable. They copied all the computer files. They stole new technology. They planted listening devices in every room. Within 2 hours, the station was falling apart. The aliens had to evacuate. As they fled in their escape pods, they did not see the invisible human ships watching them leave. This same scene was happening all across alien space. Vorthok stations, Zephyrian outposts, crystalline mining facilities, all of them were mysteriously failing. The aliens thought it was bad luck. They thought their old equipment was finally breaking down. They had no idea that humans were behind every accident. Dr. Yoon Haijin was coordinating the psychological warfare campaign from Earth. She understood alien minds better than anyone. Fear is their weakness, she explained to Admiral Kim. These races became powerful through intimidation, not fighting. When they cannot see their enemy, they become terrified. How terrified? Kim asked. Very. I am reading their communications. They are starting to blame each other. The Vorthok think the Zephyrians are sabotaging them. The Crystalline Federation suspects everyone. Kim smiled. Good. Confused enemies make mistakes. On his screen he watched reports coming in from across the galaxy. Human stealth teams were everywhere. They moved like shadows, taking what they wanted and leaving chaos behind. The aliens were learning what it felt like to be helpless. For the first time in centuries they were afraid. Captain Lee Dongwu was commanding a new type of human vessel. The Soul Phantom looked like a small cargo ship, but it was actually a heavy cruiser with advanced weapons. Captain, said his weapons officer, we have found our target. On the screen was a Vorthok patrol fleet, 5 warships guarding a trade route. The aliens thought they were safe in their own territory. Remember the rules, Lee told his crew. We disable, we do not destroy. We want prisoners who can tell stories. The Soul Phantom moved closer to the alien fleet. The Vorthok ships could not detect anything unusual. Their sensors showed only empty space. Fire, Lee ordered. The human ship revealed itself for just a few seconds. Strange blue beams shot out and hit all 5 alien vessels. Then the Soul Phantom disappeared again. The Vorthok ships were dead in space. Their engines stopped working. Their weapons would not fire. Their communications were blocked. But the aliens were alive. That human weapons had been designed to disable, not kill. This is impossible, said the Vorthok fleet commander. What kind of weapons can do this? His answer came when human soldiers appeared on his bridge. They seemed to materialize out of thin air. The soldiers wore armor that made them look like metal ghosts. Do not move, said the lead soldier in perfect Vorthok language. We are not here to hurt you. The Vorthok commander was shaking with fear. What do you want? Your ship's computer files, your weapon designs, your military codes. I will never. You will, said the human soldier calmly. Because if you cooperate, you and your crew will be allowed to leave in your escape pods. If you do not cooperate, you will stay here until your life support runs out. The commander looked around his bridge. His crew was terrified. These humans had appeared like magic and disabled 5 warships in seconds. What guarantee do I have? He asked. You have our word. Humans do not lie to enemies who surrender. The commander thought about this. He had heard that humans were honorable in war. Unlike many alien races, they did not torture prisoners or kill civilians. Very well, he said. Take what you want. 20 minutes later, the Vorthok crew was floating in space in their escape pods. They watched as their ships were stripped of everything valuable. Weapons, computers, technology, all of it vanished into the invisible human vessels. Then the humans left as quietly as they had come. The only proof they had been there was the disabled alien ships drifting in space. This pattern repeated across the galaxy. Alien ships would be attacked by invisible enemies. The crews would be captured, their ships would be looted, and then they would be released to spread the word. The word was always the same. Humanity had become something terrifying. In the council chambers, panic was spreading. Speaker Gextor received report after report of mysterious attacks. Dozens of ships had been hit. Hundreds of facilities had failed. How is this possible, he demanded. Where are these human ships coming from? We do not know, admitted Admiral Vexva, the Council's military leader. Our best sensors cannot detect them. They appear, attack, and vanish like ghosts, then use better sensors. We are trying, but human technology seems to be years ahead of ours. Gextor could not believe this. Years ahead. They are a young race. We have been building ships for thousands of years. Perhaps, said Vexva quietly, that is the problem. Our designs are thousands of years old. The council chamber fell silent. For the first time, the aliens were realizing that their age might be a weakness, not a strength. Meanwhile, Engineer Ko Minsik was working in a secret human facility. He was one of the designers of humanity's new cloaking technology. How does it work? Asked a young scientist. Ko smiled. The aliens think in straight lines. Their sensors look for heat, metal, movement. So we made ships that produce no heat, reflect no sensor beams, and move without creating disturbance. But that should be impossible. Only if you think like an alien. Humans think differently. We find new ways to solve old problems. Ko looked at his latest creation, a cloaking device small enough to fit on a single soldier. Soon, human troops would be able to walk invisible through any alien city. The aliens wanted to control us because they thought we were dangerous, Koa said. They were right. We are dangerous, but not in the way they expected. Back on Earth, President Choi was meeting with his advisors. The reports were all good. Human forces were operating freely throughout alien space. No human lives had been lost. The aliens were confused and scared. How long before they figure out what is happening? Asked General Bay. Dr. Yoon answered. They already know humans are behind the attacks. But they cannot find us, cannot track us, cannot fight us. This is driving them crazy. Good, said President Choi. Let them wonder, let them fear. For 43 years, they made us afraid of them. Now they know how it feels. Admiral Kim spoke up. Sir, we are ready for the next phase, which is, we stop hiding. We show them what human military power really looks like. President Choi nodded. Do it. But remember, we are not conquering the galaxy, we are teaching it respect. On the bridge of his flagship, Admiral Kim gave the order that would change everything. All units, this is Fleet Command. Operation Ghost Protocol is complete. Begin Phase 2. Revelation. Across human space, thousands of ships began to decloak. The aliens were about to discover that humanity had not just disappeared, they had been preparing for war. And they were very, very good at it. 8 months had passed since humanity went silent. The Alien Council was desperate. Their trade routes were failing. Their ships kept disappearing. Their people were scared. Speaker Gextor called an emergency meeting. The Great Hall was only half full now. Many alien races had stopped coming to council meetings. They were too afraid to travel. We must do something, Gextor said. The humans are destroying our civilization. What can we do? Asked Councillor Vexra. We cannot even find them. Then we force them to fight, Gextor replied. We attack their home world. We attacked Earth. Admiral Dexter stood up. He was the council's top military commander. Speaker, that would be very dangerous. We do not know what defenses Earth has. Earth is one planet, Gextor said angrily. We have the largest fleet in galactic history. 200 warships. The humans cannot possibly match that. But Gexeville was wrong. The humans could match it. They could do much more than match it. Fleet Admiral Jang Kyung-ho was waiting for them. Jang stood on the bridge of the massive human dreadnought Inshan's Revenge. He was 60 years old and had been planning this moment for 5 years. Admiral said his communications officer, Alien Fleet, detected 200 ships, just as intelligence predicted. Let them come, Jang said calmly. Captain, you are all ships ready. Captain Yusajin commanded the battle group defending Earth. She had 50 ships under her command. The aliens thought that made the odds 4-1 in their favor. The aliens were about to learn they were very wrong. Yes, sir, you replied. All ships are cloaked and in position. The Vorthok fleet approached Earth's solar system with confidence. Speaker Gextor was aboard the flagship, eager to see humanity finally defeated. There, said the fleet commander, pointing at his screen. Earth's defenses. Just a few small ships. This will be easy. The scanner showed 12 human vessels. Near Earth they looked like patrol boats and cargo ships, nothing that could threaten a massive fleet. Begin the attack, Gextor ordered. The Vorthok fleet moved forward. 200 of the most powerful warships ever built, armed with weapons that could destroy planets. They never saw the trap coming, Captain. You smiled as she watched the alien fleet enter the kill zone. All ships do cloak on my mark. Suddenly, the space around Earth came alive. Hundreds of human ships appeared out of nothing. The few small vessels were revealed to be the front edge of a massive fleet. The aliens found themselves surrounded by ships they had never seen before. These were not the simple human vessels they remembered. These were warships designed for one purpose: to destroy alien fleets. Impossible, whispered the Vorthok commander. Where did they all come from? His answer came in the form of weapons fire unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. Human ships unleashed beams of pure energy that cut through alien armor like paper. Missiles that could think for themselves hunted down enemy vessels. Weapons that bent space itself crushed alien ships without touching them. The Battle of Seoul lasted 18 minutes. When it was over, not a single human ship had been destroyed. The Vorthok fleet was gone. 200 of the most powerful warships in the galaxy had been turned into scrap metal, but the humans had shown mercy. Every escape pod was allowed to flee. Every alien crew that surrendered was spared. Captain, you had strict orders to defeat the enemy, but let survivors return home to tell the story. Major Lim Jae-min was leading ground operations on 17 different alien worlds. While the space battle raged near Earth, his teams were capturing key installations across the galaxy. Team 7 report, Lim said into his communicator. Vorthok Command Center secured, came the reply. No casualties on either side. Team 12, Zephyrian Weapons Facility captured. All data copied, one by one. The reports came in. Human soldiers had appeared like ghosts on alien worlds. They moved faster than the aliens could react. They struck with precision that seemed impossible. The aliens tried to fight back, but how do you fight an enemy you cannot see? Human soldiers wore advanced armor that made them invisible and bulletproof. Their weapons could stun enemies from great distances without killing them within hours. Humanity controlled every major military base in Council space, not through destruction, but through perfect planning and superior technology. Admiral Kim Tae-ho watched the battle reports with satisfaction. This was what 43 years of preparation looked like. While the aliens thought humans were weak merchants and diplomats, humanity had been building the most advanced military force in galactic history. Sir, said Captain Lee, we are receiving surrender requests from 12 different worlds. Accept them all, Kim replied. But make it clear this is not a negotiation. These are the terms they must accept. He looked at the star map on his screen. Red dots showed human-controlled territory. There were many more red dots now than there had been that morning. Send a message to every alien world, Kim ordered. Tell them the war can end today if they agree to our conditions. If they refuse, tomorrow will be worse than today. The message was broadcast across the galaxy. It was not sent by a diplomat or politician. It was sent by Admiral Kim himself, in his military uniform, standing on the bridge of his flagship. People of the galaxy, Kim said, his old face hard as stone. For 43 years, humanity tried to be your partner. We offered friendship. We offered help. We asked only for respect. His voice grew colder. You chose to treat us as slaves. You chose to demand our submission. You chose to threaten our people. Behind him, the wreckage of the Vorthok fleet drifted, in space like a metal graveyard. Today you learned what happens when you push humanity too far. Your greatest fleet is destroyed. Your military bases are captured. Your trade routes are controlled by human ships. Kim leaned forward, looking directly into the camera. But this is not conquest. This is education. We are teaching you the lesson you should have learned 43 years ago. Humanity will never bow to anyone. The transmission ended, but its message spread across the galaxy faster than light. Every alien who saw it understood that the balance of power had changed forever. In the council chambers, the few remaining aliens sat in shocked silence. Speaker Gextel was not among them. His flagship had been destroyed in the first minutes of the battle. He was now floating in an escape pod, somewhere near Earth, waiting to be rescued by human ships. Counselor Vexra spoke in a whisper. What do we do now? No one answered. For the first time in galactic history, the council had no idea what to do. They had always been the ones making threats. They had always been the ones with the biggest weapons. Now they were the ones who were afraid. Admiral On Sung-ho was commanding the Terra Defense Corps, the new human military organization that would police the galaxy. His job was to make sure every alien world understood the new reality. Send patrol groups to every major system, he ordered. I want human ships visible everywhere. The aliens need to see that we are not hiding anymore. What if they try to form a new alliance against us? Asked his aide. On smiled grimly. Let them try it. After today, no alien race will want to face human weapons. They will compete to be our friends, not our enemies. On the alien world of Nexus Prime, Trademaster Quellen watched the news broadcasts with growing fear. The mighty council fleet had been destroyed in minutes. Human soldiers had captured military bases across the galaxy without firing a shot. What does this mean for us? Asked his assistant. Quellen looked at his empty warehouses. For months he had been hoping the humans would return to trade. Now he realized the humans held all the power. It means, he said slowly, that we will accept whatever terms they offer. And we will be grateful they are willing to trade with us at all. The age of alien dominance was over. The age of humanity had begun, but the humans were not finished yet. They had one more lesson to teach the galaxy. 1 year had passed since humanity went silent. Now they were ready to talk again, but this time they would not be asking for anything. They would be telling the galaxy how things were going to work. Chancellor Song Hiram walked into the council chambers. She was not called ambassador anymore. That title was for people who begged for permission. The Song was a chancellor, and she spoke for the most powerful force in the galaxy. Behind her walked 50 human officers in crisp military uniforms. Outside the station, 50 human dreadnoughts waited with their weapons powered up. The message, it was clear. Humanity was not here to negotiate. They were here to dictate terms. The council chamber looked very different now. Instead of hundreds of alien representatives, only 30 remained. Most alien races had simply given up on galactic politics. It was easier to hide on their home worlds and hope humanity forgot about them. Song walked to the center of the chamber. In the old days, humans had sat at a small table in the back corner. Today, Song stood where Speaker Gextal used to give his speeches. Gextal himself sat in the audience. No longer a speaker, but just another defeated alien. His green skin looked pale, and his forearms shook with fear whenever he looked at the human chancellor. People of the galaxy, Song began, her voice calm and confident. 1 year ago, you gave humanity an ultimatum. You told us to surrender our colonies, accept inferior status, and be grateful for whatever scraps you threw us. She looked around the chamber, meeting the eyes of every alien present. We have considered your offer, she said. We decline. The chamber was so quiet you could hear the air recycling systems humming. Instead, Song continued, we have our own terms to present. These are not suggestions. These are not requests. These are the new facts of galactic life. She activated a holographic display that showed the galaxy. Red areas marked human territory. There was much more red on the map than there had been a year ago. First, Song said, humanity withdraws from the Galactic Council. We no longer recognize your authority over human affairs. You are welcome to govern whatever territory you can actually defend. An alien in the back stood up. You cannot just leave the council. There are laws. Whose laws? Song asked calmly. Laws written by the strong to control the weak. We are no longer weak. Your laws no longer apply to us. The alien sat down quickly, realizing his mistake. Second, Song continued, humanity establishes the Terran Alliance. Any species that wishes to join us may apply. We offer protection, trade, and technology to our allies. We ask only for respect and fair treatment. Admiral Unsung-ho stepped forward. He was now the supreme commander of all human military forces. Third, he said, certain systems are now under human protection. Any attempt to enter these systems without permission will be considered an act of war. The star map changed, showing dozens of systems now marked with human symbols. These were not just human colonies, but also worlds belonging to younger alien species that had asked for human protection. You cannot claim so much territory, protested Councillor Vextra. Song turned to look at her. We are not claiming it, we are protecting it. These worlds asked for our help because your council failed to protect them from pirates, raiders, and bullies. Director Moon Chang-Su stepped up to the display. He was the head of humanity's new Alien Relations Department. Fourth, Moon said, humanity reserves the right to intervene in conflicts where weaker species are being oppressed by stronger ones. We will not allow another council to rise that treats might as right. The aliens in the chamber looked horrified. This meant humans could interfere in their internal affairs whenever they wanted. This is outrageous, shouted an alien that looked like a walking rock. You are trying to rule the galaxy. No, Song replied. We are trying to civilize it. There is a difference. She walked closer to the alien representatives, her boots clicking on the metal floor. For thousands of years, your species have ruled through fear and intimidation. The strong took what they wanted from the weak. The old pushed around the young. The many oppressed the few. Her voice grew harder. You created a galaxy where might made right, where the biggest fleet got to make the rules, where newer species were automatically inferior to older ones. Song stopped walking and faced the entire chamber. Congratulations, you succeeded. Might does make right, and now humanity has the most might. The truth of her words hit the aliens like a physical blow. They had created the system that was now being used against them. What do you want from us? Asked a small alien with purple fur. Song's expression softened slightly. We want what we always wanted. Respect, fair treatment, the right to exist as equals in this galaxy. But you are not treating us as equals, protested another alien. No, Song agreed. We are not, because you had 43 years to treat us as equals, and you chose not to. You chose to treat us as inferiors. Now you will learn what that feels like. Admiral On activated another display. This one showed human military strength throughout the galaxy. However, he said, we are not like you. We do not believe in permanent oppression. Any species that proves they can treat others with respect will be treated with respect in return. How do we prove that? Asked Councillor Vextra. Start by treating your own people better, Moon answered. Stop enslaving weaker species. Stop stealing resources from smaller worlds. Start acting like civilized beings instead of galactic bullies. Song walked back to the center of the chamber. The old council is dead, she announced. You killed it when you tried to enslave humanity. In its place, a new order will rise, one based on justice instead of power, one where all species can grow and prosper. She looked at each alien representative. You can be part of this new order, or you can resist it. But understand this. The age of alien dominance is over. The age of human justice has begun. Admiral Kim Tae-ho entered the chamber. He was older now, but still strong. He had been the one to lead humanity through its darkest hour. One more thing, Kim said. To those species who helped us during our time of trouble, who spoke for us when we had no voice, who treated us with kindness when others showed us cruelty, you will find humanity to be a generous friend. He looked directly at a small delegation of peaceful aliens who had always supported human rights. To those who oppressed us, who demanded our submission, who threatened our people, you will find humanity to be a fair but firm teacher. His eyes found Gextel in the audience. The former speaker looked away, unable to meet Kim's gaze. And to those who might think of challenging us again, Kim continued, remember this day. Remember what happened when you pushed humanity to far. We will not make the same mistake twice. Song nodded to her delegation. Our business here is finished. The terms have been presented. You have 1 month to decide which species will join the new order and which will stand against it. She turned to leave, then stopped and looked back one final time. Oh, and one more thing. From now on, humans do not negotiate from positions of weakness. We tried that for 43 years. It did not work out well for anyone. As the human delegation left the chamber, the aliens sat in stunned silence. They had come to this day thinking they were the masters of the galaxy. They were leaving as subjects of a new human empire. But it was not an empire built on conquest. It was an empire built on justice. And for the first time in galactic history, the strong were protecting the weak instead of exploiting them. President Choi Min-ho was waiting for Song when she returned to the human flagship. He was proud of how his people had handled themselves. How did they take it? He asked. About as well as expected, Song replied. Fear, anger, disbelief, but also hope. From some of the smallest species, and the former council members. They will comply. They do not have a choice. President Choi looked out at the stars through the ship's viewport. Somewhere out there, billions of beings were learning that the galaxy had new rules. Rules written by humanity. Do you think we did the right thing? He asked. Song considered the question carefully. Sir, they had 43 years to do the right thing. They chose to do the wrong thing instead. Someone had to teach them the difference. Admiral Kim joined them at the viewport. The galaxy is safer today than it was yesterday. Weaker species no longer have to fear stronger ones. Justice matters more than strength. But we had to become strong to make justice possible, President Choi pointed out. Yes, Kim admitted. Sometimes the good must become powerful to protect others from the powerful who are not good. They stood together looking out at their new galaxy. It would not be perfect. There would still be problems, still be conflicts. But for the first time in galactic history, the strong would serve the weak instead of ruling them. Humanity had learned its place in the galaxy, just as the aliens had demanded. Their place was wherever they chose to make it. And they chose to make it everywhere justice was needed.